Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Kinji's route. Go away, tablet. Trying to make me upgrade to Windows 11. No! No! I've had this thing for like 11 years. Not... Every time it's like, we have an update. I don't want to do any of your updates or anything like that. I'm trying to play a game. Like, I'd be like, why don't you remind me of the shit when I'm not trying to play a game and I need my guides? Because, but to be fair, it's never on otherwise. So, you know. Anyway, yeah, continuing Kinji's route. We got arrested for prostitution. I'm just kidding. That's totally fine. For helping the one girl try to escape, and then we were distracting them. So, like, whoopsie. Interesting. Where am I? I tried to raise my face and pain shot down my neck. Oh, right, and we also were told that the dude that owns the kimono shop wants to pop our cherry, and we're like, okay, let me write a letter. And hopefully that letter got to our friends, so Kinji can bust in and drag us away and punch that man in the face and be like, no one touches her but me. I really kind of need that. I want that so badly. Because, you know, we know he's cracking, okay? We saw that. But, like, he's basically been like, whatever, okay? God. And he's done, like, sweet, nice things. But it's always with the, what? I am afraid this is what humans like. I will pat you on head. Okay. Like, treating us like a dog, in a way. And we're totally here for it. Don't get me wrong. But I need that snap when he is like, this is my woman, and I will not let you fucking do it. Like, oh! I need it. I need it. Come on. You know, you could just imagine it. Coming from Kinji, oh, hell no. It's going to be good. Anyway, I tried to raise my face and pain shot down my neck. Wondering if I was hurt, I attempted to touch it with my hand, but due to my bindings, I couldn't move. Groans were the only things leaving my mouth. It seemed that I was even gagged. I thought that I was trying to escape from the red light district. Wait, what about Saki? Is she safe? It was just groans, but if Saki was with me, she would give some sort of reaction. But there wasn't any response from her. Am I the only one locked up here? Then, where's Saki? As I thought that, I heard footsteps heading towards me. Uh-oh. Who? Oh. She agreed to the Mizuage too, so I just don't understand why she decided to run away. She might have gotten cold feet. It's common for courtesans before their Mizuage. These voices are the brothel owner and Okuni. There was no light in the room, so I couldn't see them. But I knew from the voices that it was those two. Though it was Lord Hizakura's request, maybe it was a mistake to not give her any sex education. Hold on, my thing's very loud. Okay. Some courtesans will still escape even if you do so. More importantly, how will you punish Spacey? Normally, I'd beat her as an example to the others, but she's gonna be having her Mizuage with Lord Hisakura tomorrow. Tomorrow? Jesus. Injuring her's out of the question, so I was thinking I should lock her up here until then, but what do you think, Okuni? Now this is going to be interesting to find out, like, what side is she really on? Like, I can understand his perspective. It's gross, but, like, he technically is your property owner right now, and you don't escape when I own you type shit. Like, as disturbing as it is, you're like, nah, I mean, I expect that kind of thought process from the owner of a brothel where we're his property, sorta. You know? We're loaning ourselves out to be his property until our debts are paid. Okay. But, like, now I'm interested in how Okuni's gonna react to this, because she, like, seems very nice and she's here by choice, but you don't know. Is she the evil? Is what's his face? I don't know. I don't know which one of them is like which one of you is the evil, because somebody with the sprite has to be the evil, and you're the only one that was new added to this, and maybe you're controlling what's his face. I don't know. Maybe he really is just but they But also, like, strangely enough, not really. You've gotten. Is it Taku? Is that his name? Well, I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, you saw him with the other courtesans, and then he's putting like curses or something on them, basically. We kind of know that, so it seems really sus. And she could just be nice on the side, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I just don't trust anybody anymore. Like, this route makes me not trust anyone but Kinji. Okay? I don't trust anyone but Kinji. And I'm not sure at this point in time that's a wise decision either. But I know it's gonna be okay if I put my trust in Kinji, so that's where we're going. Like, you know? This moment right now, it's like, I don't know where he's at in his headspace, so I'm not I know we're gonna be able to trust him and it's okay, but like, you game, this route is giving me so many trust issues that I don't even trust the man of my dreams over here. That's just rude. Oh my god. I also believe that's for the best. Alright, that's what we'll do. I'll have the mail workers bring you food later. Listen, don't you think you'll escape from here? I heard the sound of the door close and footsteps trailing further away. I wish I was unbound so I could say I wasn't trying to run away. But then she would say I was just out and they chased me. And I just panicked and ran. I wasn't trying to escape. But then she would have to say I was trying to stop Saki and, or help her escape. And then that's just as bad. A whole day passed since then. Tomorrow I would... No, that's something I never want to happen. Just imagining it sent chills down my spine. I tried to move my arms and legs in hopes I'd be able to escape, but the ropes only dug deeper into my skin. And that's the thing, you're not in the brothel, so even though you gave the note to an Oniwaban member who got it to Yabuta and anybody else, now they don't know where the fuck you are. You know what I mean? Because that was at night. So it's like now been a day. Tomorrow's... So it's like... like they don't know where you... They might not know where you are. And like the Oniwaban servant guy probably has no idea. Maybe if I'm covered in wounds, Lord Hisakura will reconsider having my Mizuage. At that moment, footsteps approached again. Food's here! I'm gonna stand watch until tomorrow, so don't try anything stupid. It was probably a mail worker. He placed a bowl filled with food in front of me and plunked himself down onto the ground. How am I supposed to fucking eat when my hands are bound and so's my mouth? With a guard here, I can't even injure my own body. If I hadn't tried to help Saki escape back then, this wouldn't have happened. But no matter how much I regretted it, there was no turning back time. I had to wait until tomorrow, feeling as if I was waiting for my execution. No, there is such a thing as turning back time, but this isn't the wrong game. I don't think we have that power in this game particularly, but we need to find a heroine that does. The next day, oh my god! They can't act, they're not going to make this happen. This is not going to actually happen. Is Kinji going to bust in and stop this? That would even be even better. The mail worker carried me to a room on the second floor. A futon was placed in the middle of the room, and I was sitting on top of it. No, Kinji, I need you to bust in now and stop this. Oh my god. They even gave me a comfortable sleeping kimono. It would have been so wonderful if all I had to do was sleep. Well, you could just lay there. Sure, he doesn't care. It's still... You just disassociate? Stare at the ceiling and count tiles? I don't know. Oh. But my hands were tied behind my back with rope, as were my ankles. Well, that makes it even more fucked up. Especially if he's like, I don't mind if you're tied up, makes it easier for me. Oh, there's so much wrong with this. And the dramatic sad music is not helping. I can't escape. Even if my limbs weren't bound, this was the second floor. If I tried to jump out the second-story window, I'd just injure myself, and male workers were stationed outside the door until Lord Hisakura came. If my options are let this happen or jump out the window, I think I'm going with jump out the window. It might take me a few minutes to decide, like, jump out the window. I might injure myself. Worth it. Worth the risk. What should I do? Tears welled up in my eyes. Because I had been locked up, I hadn't received any letters from the Oniwaban. They did know when it was going to happen, right? Because you were told it's going to happen on Tuesday. So, like, I hope you included that in your letter so they're not like, we got time. There was no way to avoid the Mizuhage, and if this continued, I would have no choice but to share a bed with Lord Hisakura. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? It wasn't cold, but my teeth wouldn't stop chattering. Should I call someone? No, no one would save me. Should I fight back with all my might? My opponent was an adult man. Even if I fought back, would I be able to escape? If this was going to happen, I shouldn't have gone undercover for an investigation. It was my fault for infiltrating a brothel without the resolve that something like this might happen. But even so, if I could turn back time, I wanted to return to that one day. I want to have a silly conversation with Kinji. I want to see his face. Though we left on a sour note the last time we met, I had a renewed sense of affection for Kinji, because he wouldn't do this to you. I should have just told him that I liked him. Please wait a second! Could it be... She thinks it's Lord Hisakura. Oh my god, I hope it's Kinji busting the fuck in. This will be so good. Because this is so dramatic and sad, and it's like, oh. And that's like, it would be the perfect time for him to bust in for you, because you're like, oh, we're just getting so sad and so depressed, and it hurts so much, and then he busts in, and you're like, it's my little ball of sunshine in the dark! Oh. I could see them pulling us deeper into the depression spiral before they have him rescue us, but he better come soon! Was Lord Hisakura already here? When I strained my ears, I heard the unmistakable sound of approaching footsteps. Oh no! I turned to the window. If I had to share a bed with Lord Hisakura, then I'd rather... I crawled on top of the futon and tried to approach the window. But the sliding door opened faster than I could get there. No! Is she... Oh, she's call... I was like, is it Kinji? Does she realize that? But that she's like calling for him, like, to help her. And he's gonna be right there. She doesn't realize. She's trying to get away and she hears doors. And she's like, no! Kinji! Help me! Oh! And it's gonna be him, isn't it? Oh. No! Kinji! Kinji! What is it? Huh? I slowly turned my face to the door. Oh, I just love that so much. I want to cry. It's so... This whole part has made me cry so far. Like, I want to cry so bad with how depressing it is. And she's like, no, and she's just waiting. And it's like, oh, I know he's going to rescue us. And then this moment is just adorable. Because it's so simple. It's not like busting and knocking heads. He just like walks right in. And she's like, no, Kenji! And he's like, what? And she's like, you're really here? Oh, thank fucking God. You knew! You knew he was going to bust in! But still, I feel very relieved and happy right now. I'm so happy I could cry. I read that. And there I saw Kinji, the man whose face I had strongly wished to see. An illusion? Or is this a dream? It's not an illusion nor a dream. It's reality. I heard from the Oniwaban that they couldn't deliver you letters, so I hurried over. I'm going to tell you the strategy to avoid the... Kinji cut himself off and looked at my limbs. They were certainly rough. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a strategy to avoid the Mizuhage. Get me the fuck out of here. Just get me out. I don't need a strategy. Get me out or I'm jumping out the window, Kinji. Throw me over your shoulder and get the fuck out. He looks mad. Oh, I like his mad little face. I love it. He's adorable when he's mad. He's like, how dare they? Kinji approached me and ripped apart the ropes, binding my arms and legs. I was really hoping for a little more emotion from him about this whole thing. Like, no, they're not going to do this, and he's going to take you away. Instead, he's going to, like, try to tell you how to avoid having to sleep with a man. They ain't got time for that shit. This is... But also, we're only in chapter 5, and we have, like, 7 chapters, I think? 7 or 8 in these. So, we're not really... Hold on. We have 7. So we're not really there yet. You know what I mean? Where the love's gonna come out. But still, it's like, damn, I need something more from you right now. You had me about to cry from joy, and now I'm like, wait, what? You just, that's it? This, ugh, ugh. Now I'm just gonna cry from disappointment. I'm still glad you're here. Kenji! Oh, oh! How beautiful. I love this. The second I heard it and saw the white for the CG, I was really excited. I knew it was going to be like this. I do like, she's covering half his face, but you can just even tell by his eyes, he's like, the fuck is happening? Oh, it's so pretty. Once my arms and legs were freed, I immediately hugged Kenji. Who said you could hug me? I wanted to see you. I'm so happy I could see you. Oh! He's put his arm around us too! Stop it! Now I'm gonna cry again. My word. And just where did all that energy from the other day go? Despite saying that, Kenji patted my back to comfort me. It really is Kenji. I wanted to rub my face against him, but then I noticed what was happening. I'm hugging Kenji! Oh, is it over already? How unfortunate. You were acting as adorable as a child. I'm not a child! Are not all Komaros supposed to be children? Yeah, well, in case you didn't know, I'm about to get my cherry popped and I'm gonna be a real woman now, apparently. According to brothel rules or some weird fucking antiquated bullshit. I'm a real courtesan now! What does that mean? Ew. There's so much wrong happening. As he said that, Kenji smiled at me gently. He's saying I'm adorable and being so nice to me. Is this really Kenji? Perhaps it was a trick of my mind, but Kenji's presence also felt somewhat kinder. Yeah, because he got a little thing for you, but he doesn't... I feel like based on that scene, he's like, the hand over his heart after we yelled at him and stormed off or whatever. He is, I think, registering what's happening. But I don't think that he's going to fully change. He's still going to tease us and be a bit of a dick. But, like, if he fully changed and became, like, completely different, it wouldn't be the same. You got to be a little bit of a dick, sir. But you also got to ease into it, too. Because you got to think in Kenji's perspective, like, I am used to being apathetic and having no fucking emotion and just being a vain little bastard. And now all of a sudden I actually kind of feel... Huh. Yeah. Huh. But it's not cracked enough where you can see his threads, so... But he knows something's going on in there. He's not stupid. But I don't hate this. Actually, I'm happy. Maybe I'll let him treat me kindly like I'm a real Komuro. Uh-oh. Then the sliding door opened once again. I hurriedly looked at the entrance and was met with Okuni's eyes. Not just Okuni, the brothel owner's here too. Oh, no. And Hisakura. The scream almost came out of my mouth, but I managed to suppress it. No, I don't want him to do my Mizuhage. I unconsciously gripped Kenji's sleeve. Kenji, is what you just said true? Yes, I'll pay double what that man there did. So please give me the rights to Spacey's Mizuhage. Oh my god. What? Okay. I'm not gonna say no to this, but also, here's the thing. I'm sure it's just a ruse. But even if this happens, holy shit, would they let this happen in this game? We have our little love interest and whatever, but they have never been like, and then sexy times happen. They've kind of just left that open to your imagination, okay? So, like, excuse me? They would have to blatantly kind of let you know that that happened. But even if it did, then that just means that I'm now ready to be a courtesan and they're going to start selling me off. That is not how we want to continue our investigation. You know what I mean? This is the gate. This is going to open the flood. We don't want to open these floodgates. But at the same time, it's Kinji, so, like, open all my floodgates, sir. I don't even know. Like, I can't, okay. It's just the fact of him offering. It's just like, get out! Me telling everyone to get out and throwing him down. Am I not gonna, she's not gonna do that, but I would. The shock is also, yes, all of us. Kinji's gonna perform my Mizuhage. Wait, I heard that correctly, right? I immediately looked at Kinji and he nodded. Are you kidding me? You may be a famous kabuki actor or what have you, but this is thievish behavior. I saw this girl first. Besides, if this goes through, it'll surely affect the reputation of this brothel. In a good way, Kinji's never touched anybody. Well, won't it? Answer me! Hounded by Lord Hisakura, the brothel owner nodded, sweat beading on his brow. He is like twice the amount, though. And like, yeah, but the thing is like, Kinji is a famous kabuki actor, and he doesn't give patronage to any brothel. Hisakura's been spreading it around town. I'm just saying, the tramp stamp would mean more coming from Kinji, don't you think? Because they'd be like, Kinji has never been interested in any other courtesan, but like, we have the one that he was all invested in. All I'm saying. Like, did you see him frequenting other brothels? No, and Lord Isakura's just spreading it around to everybody. Right? Don't you think? I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could spin it. It depends on how you spin it, but I feel like you could spin it. Yeah, I mean, sure, you're like, Lord Hisakura puts his stamp on everything, and his stamp means something because the whore knows some shit. So, sure, fine. But, like, again, you could spin this in a really good way. It's as you say. Lord Hisakura is a regular at this brothel, so we'll still have you be in charge of the music. Then I'll start coming here from tomorrow. I'll also prepare a bouquet of flowers. With these conditions, wouldn't I be a better VIP than that gentleman there? Like, I like how, I mean, they could have just gotten me out instead of, you know. I can't believe this. A regular courtesan receiving treatment fit for an Oran. I can't say it. Boss, there's no logical reason to let a generous customer willing to pay that much slip away. Okay, you know what? Even if she's the big bad evil, she's on our side right now, so I'm cool with this. But... Then let's ask the girl in question. Spacey, who do you want in charge of your Mizuhage? I mean, Kinji. Absolutely. My answer was obvious. I want Kinji. I don't want it unless it's with Kinji. What? Kinji of Kikuria is a popular actor. So popular, in fact, that he's become the subject of ukiyo-e. Would it not be better for us if someone such as that became a regular at our brothel? Especially considering the fact, again, that Kinji has no interest in the brothels and then suddenly he's got an interest in yours. I'm just saying, again, there's two ways to spin this, because both sides that you want to spin this, if you're on Hisakura's side, like, well, this man knows some shit, and he's like really well, and he knows a good brothel when he sees one. He's a regular in the brothel town, right? But like, Kinji doesn't ever want to touch nobody, and then Kinji finds your brothel. I'm just saying, he's not just like a nobody that rolled up. All the girls are always trying to get this beautiful man to frequent their, well, lady caves, I guess. They're always calling me. He's like, yep, nope. But like, we drew him in. I'm just saying. That's gotta be something. Come on. Learn marketing, dude. Okuni's over here. She's like, I know how to market this. I can spin this. You know? You whore! Looking so innocent, yet you were this man's swain all along. Wow! I won't forgive you. You're mine, you... Lord Hisakura, that's enough. The brothel owner used his arm to hold Lord Hisakura back as he was about to barge into the room. His calling me a whore and thinking that I'm his property because he decided he liked me. What a douche. He seemed really nice. That's how they get you. Fucking bastards. I'm terribly sorry, but I'm gonna ask Kin for Mizuage. Kin? Kinji. You don't get to abbreviate his name. You're not on a fun name basis like that. What? You said you'd let me handle the Mizuage, and now you're going back on your word? That was my intention, but after hearing what you said, I do not feel comfortable entrusting my precious merchandise to you. See, we're just merchandise. But we're precious merchandise, so I guess we can give him like a half a star. Lord Izakura, you're an esteemed customer. I don't wish to make this a big deal, so please take your leave for today. Damn.
Now, I'll see you out to the front.
Okuni smoothly slid her arm around Lord Hisakura and smiled. But, no. Having his arm held by a woman as beautiful as Okuni made it impossible for even Lord Hisakura to maintain the fervor he had moments ago. She held the hesitant Lord Hisakura's hand and left the room.
You lot, this isn't for show. Don't stand there. Hurry back to your work.
Yes! It seemed that there were courtesans milling around outside trying to listen in. Woo! We're gonna be a talk of the brothel tomorrow! Even from the room, I could hear the sounds of them frantically running away. Jesus. Kin, you're really gonna pay double what Lord Hisakura did, yes?
Yes, I will not go back on my word.
Then as much as I'd like to hurry along with our Mizuage, it did become quite chaotic today. Oh, thank God. That's how we don't have to do it. And here's how you avoid it. I'm going to take control, and then I'm not going to touch you like that. But you know what? Yes, he will. We can dream. Could I ask you to come back tomorrow? We'll take care of the Mizuage fee and such then.
I don't mind. As promised, I will also include the flowers.
That's fantastic news for us. But if you're so interested in her, would you care to immediately redeem her freedom after the Mizuage? If she was a Taiyu, that would be quite the hefty price, but as you see, she's a Kamuro who hasn't even debuted in the brothel. Redeeming her won't cost too much. The lot is like... I mean, she doesn't have much debt on her. If you want to bone her and then take her home with you? I mean, I guess you do take cars for a test drive before you... But what the fuck? Please say you'll take me home with you, Kinji? He's gonna be like, nah, because my job's not done. Oh.
I apologize. I haven't decided on that much as of yet. So when the time comes, I shall take you up on your offer.
It's really nice because we're still working. But then when the time comes, he's going to buy me, and then he's going to own me. He's like, well, technically I own you now. And you're like, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it in this context, Kinji. You might be the only man that I will be okay with purchasing me like I am property and owning me like that. Feminism be damned. You know what? Actually, no, it's part of it because it's my choice. My choice to let you be my property owner. I'm okay with that. I am making that choice of my own free will and being like, please, sweet Lord, that's great. Do it. Do whatever you want with me. I literally will belong to you. I'm okay with that. Again, my choice. He crosses the line. I'm going to kick him in the fucking nuts. I know where it hurts. But I would never do that. He's so precious and beautiful. I love him. So, what ups? Yes, of course. Then I'll wait for you tomorrow. Everyone see Lord Kin out. He keeps calling him Kin. You don't get to give him a nickname. It's weird. Yeah. The male workers outside entered and with their backs bowed escorted Kinji to the exit.
I look forward to meeting you tomorrow.
Look at that smile on your face. I do too. Yes. I like that Okuni was on her side and I'm like, who do you want to bone you first? Obviously Kinji, come on. With Kinji gone, the only people in the room were the brothel owner and myself. The relief of escaping my plight and the anxiety of receiving a Mizuage from Kinji mingled inside of me. No, it's not like I'm really having my Mizuage. You might, though. Because that's exactly what I'm thinking. Well, it's not like you're really going to. He's going to come and be like, shh. And I'll be like, she's for me only. Nobody else touches her. You know, type of a thing. And he's going to come constantly, like, by you nightly, like, whatever. So that, like, you're, like, whatever. So, like, okay, cool. So that you don't have to worry about. That's how you avoid actually having to sleep with people. And you're like, cool. But it's Kenji. And, like, I don't. That's exactly how you think it's gonna go, but I really want I really, 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 really want the game to throw me a curveball and have Kenji be like, well, I paid for it, so I'm just saying. I always get what I pay for. You know, no, let's not secret squirrel it. Let's make it obvious that some shit went down. Like, holy hell. Oh my god. I'm here for this. But even so, my heart was racing. Spacey. I flinched when the brothel owner called my name. He thought of me as someone who plotted an escape and who rejected spending the night with Lord Hisakura. I tensed up in preparation of a scolding, but for some reason, the brothel owner looked at me with pity in his eyes. So you tried to escape because you were in love with the kabuki actor, huh? No, but let's go with that, because it's not totally untrue. Listen, don't relax just because Lord Kin said he'd buy your Mizuage. Lord Kin bought you because you're unique. If he was serious, then he would have paid your redemption fee and set you free then and there. Whether he eventually decides to, it's all up to how hard you work. Do your best to get on his good side. I love that this guy, this poor man, but you know what, I get where he's coming from. He's like, listen, you're in love with him, and just because he's gonna pop your cherry, girl, he would have bought you right then and there if he was really interested in you, so don't rest on your laurels. Work hard and maybe you'll get your man, but it's all dependent on how good you are at those blowjobs. Like, it's the weirdest work conversation ever. I will guarantee you, no matter what weird fucking conversations you have ever had at work, it has probably never been this motherfucking weird. Yes. I sullenly nodded at the brothel owner's words. She's like, he gets no clue what's going on, but from his perspective, he makes sense. I was right. I couldn't make any weird assumptions. Kenji bought me so I could avoid my Mizuage. There were no feelings involved, and I shouldn't expect anything. I am expecting him to actually fulfill his duty. I'm really hoping he does. But I'm happy that Kenji was the one who came and rescued me. I remembered when I hugged Kenji and my cheeks felt warm. I shouldn't expect anything. I shouldn't assume anything. No matter how many times I told myself that, it was hard to keep my feelings in check. You know what? Because it's like you're in love with him and the man came and rescued you, so like, you're on Cloud 9 right now. You might be on Cloud 37, to be fair. Why we only go to Cloud 9? Why can't we go higher? Ooh, Chapter 6. God, look at how beautiful that bastard is. The next day, I was given my own room and Okuni was helping me with my studies. Today in this room, Kenji and I will... Just imagining it caused my face to flush red. Are you not feeling well or something? I'm fine. I'm perfectly healthy. Okuni placed a hand on her forehead, a faraway look in her eyes. Is she fed up with me because I haven't been able to focus during class? Normally the chaperone would teach me, but it was a special lesson this time, and Okuni was my teacher. Is she teaching you, like, sex moves? The contents of the lesson focused on nighttime activities, an unavoidable part of being a courtesan. She is. I know, I'm sorry. You know, we're getting to the good part. I can't give you potty breaks like this, but I guess we're going to. We gotta give the bird potty breaks. Because I can't, he wouldn't go before we came over here. I told you we had an hour to go, but alright, you gotta go potties now? It's been at least a half hour. Good boy, thank you. I know, if you're getting a little fidgety, I'm not gonna deny you potty breaks, because I don't want you pooping on me, okay? But, like, we're getting down to the wire. We gotta have this moment. We gotta see what's gonna happen. You think Kenji's gonna come and get frisky with us? You should probably cover your ears when this happens. You are too baby innocent bird. You're not supposed to hear these naughty things. I know. Jesus Christ, if you could talk, the shit that would come out of your mouth, you'd swear a lot. I know. You know, one of these days you're going to say a word and the first thing you're going to say is fuck. I'm pretty sure he says what. Like, there are times he makes a noise, and I'm like, are you saying what? Because I say it to him all the time. He'll be like, making a noise. I'm like, what? What? What do you want? What? So I swear sometimes he's like, what? Like, what fuck? It's better than saying fuck, but I'm surprised you haven't learned how to say that. I know. Anyway. Anyway. Nighttime activities. She is teaching you sex ed. Okay. Everyone probably left halfway through because they already learned this lesson from the chaperone. I was confident that, had I learned about this alongside the Shinzo, I would have fainted on the spot. This was how shocking the material was. Like, you knew what sex was, but not what sex was? You really are a virgin. I'm sorry. I thought I was used to hearing and seeing these kinds of things after I came here, but what have you been... what were you actually listening to and what have you been seeing? This was my first time hearing in detail what would go where and the precise way of doing it, so my body felt just as heated as my face. It's the what would go where, and you're like, well, you know you knew exactly what they were explaining. It's bizarre that you've lived in Edo up until your age and you don't know anything about this. Have you never seen your parents doing this at night? Oh my god! The trauma! I've never seen such a thing! I unconsciously covered my face with both hands. Also, I'm sorry, the trauma of seeing your parents boning is that's not what you want to see. I'm starting to get kind of worried. Are you sure you can have your Mizuage like that? I couldn't answer Okuni's question. Part of it was that I didn't have any confidence, but I also assumed that it wouldn't even come to that. When he saved me, Kinji said there was a plan to avoid the Mizuage. Well, there was a plan to avoid having to have sex with Hisakura. Not at all. Listen, I would not be surprised at all if Kinji just popped in and was like, no, well, just don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Unless he's like, you know what, there's people listening, so you're gonna have to make it sound and then like shit but I mean, I don't expect the game to actually have them go through with it, but at the same time, I want them to, and I'm like half expecting it to do it. Just to fuck it, so you're like, why we didn't actually see that coming, you know? That was why Kinji volunteered for my Mizuage this time. Just because we're going to share a bed doesn't mean we'll have sex. If, by any chance, I had to do it with Kinji what Okuni was teaching me, I would definitely pass out. No, it feels freaky and weird when you're talking about it, but the second that he's in the room with you, no, all bets are off. You're gonna be like a wild fucking panther. You must really like Kinji. Am I that obvious? Yes. When you're looking at Kinji, you seem more relaxed. Besides, you said it yourself that you didn't want anyone other than Kinji for your Mizuage. That's... Look at you all embarrassed. How cute. But you're lucky. I doubt there's a single courtesan who was able to have their first time with the man she loves. That's sad. But then again, there's a lot of people who don't have your first time with someone that you love, and so, yeah. Andy likes you too. I've been in the industry for a long time, but I don't think I've ever met a courtesan that was as blessed as you. You're wrong. I like Kinji, but Kinji doesn't like me in that way. Kinji doesn't have emotions, but yes, he kind of does. My own words were almost too painful to hear. All Kinji did was become a customer so I could continue my mission. I shouldn't get the wrong idea just because he was nice to me. No, but that's exactly why, is because he's nice to you, and it's very un-Kinji-like. Someone smacked me in the back, and I raised my voice out of surprise. Do you honestly believe that? There's no way Kinji would pay that much money to be with a woman he didn't like. I actually wonder if it's the Oniwaban's money. You know what I mean? Or he's like, nah, I got money, it's fine, I got, whatever, stocked up and, I'm kind of curious. Did he pay out of his own pocket, or was it we have to, we have to pay double so that we can stop her from, because we promised her she wouldn't have to do this, and here we are. You know what I mean? He's even said he'd bring flowers. He's really into you. It's so funny, the flower thing. Like, I'll bring flowers. He's serious. I'll pay double. I mean, I'll bring flowers. Shit, yeah, no, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the flowers that, like, so I'm kind of curious about that. What makes that so much more special, you know? Speaking of which, the brothel owner also seemed surprised when Kinji said he would give flowers. What are the flowers for? I'm glad she's asking. Okay, good. So now we get to find out. They're gratuities given to the male workers, Shinzo and Kamuro. Though they're usually reserved for when you request special courtesans called Taiyu. I see. So that was why the brothel owner was caught off guard. Kinji's at the peak of his career right now. Even if he becomes a regular, he probably won't run out of money to spend. So don't worry about carrying more debt. Why would my debt increase? In this industry, if a man visits a woman every day, then they will eventually run out of money. In order to help those lovers continue to visit them, there are some courtesans who resort to borrowing money. Imagine this motherfucking shit. Imagine this motherfucking shit. What kind of level of crazy? I am in debt. I owe $10,000. Okay. So I'm going to prostitute myself to get out of debt. So now I'm a courtesan. So this dude is coming and buying me. Cool. He's buying me out of debt because he's paying off my debt by paying me. Okay. Right? Right? This. But then it's like, I want him to come back and visit me. He runs out of money, so I will borrow money to give to him, to give to me, to pay off the debt that I had, and then some. So I get to stay a sex slave longer, so he can have sex with me, and I can just stay here. Excuse me? Who fucking made up this system? And what fucking woman went? Sounds like a good idea. I am gonna need all of y'all to check your motherfucking brain cells. I'm sure it's because of the bullshit promises. Like Tatsunosuke being like, no, but like, baby, I'm really into you. And then there's some kind of level of fucking manipulation and bullshit. And like, it's gotta be that. But like, holy motherfucking shit. That is some expert level con man crap. With the whole like, well, I just spent my last $50 on you. Don't worry, I'll go to a loan shark and take out another 10 grand and give it to you, and then you could keep coming to see me. And then eventually that money will run out. And then I'll get another loan, and then so the 10 grand that I owed that then got paid off, but now I owe another, and I'll just stay in the cycle of debt so that you can keep I mean, I'm assuming it's because these courtesans like these dudes. So, like, for us, it'd be like, yeah, no. I'll stay in debt and be a courtesan forever where other people might buy me just so Kinji can come fuck me every night. Or on, when he's not working. Sure, that sounds great. What the fuck? This just sounds insane. Imagine you go to work every day. In order to get, you give a service, your time and energy and work, to get money so that you can pay your motherfucking bills and not be homeless. Okay? Right? So you got the electric bill debt, you got your gas debt, all your utilities and rent and car pay, all your payments and things, all your existence debt. Okay? Not even counting if you got student loans or credit cards or anything, but just to exist is debt. Okay? You owe all these companies just to let you survive. Okay? You owe Big Egg just to be able to buy a motherfucking egg. You're gonna have to sell your kidney for that shit soon. But anyway, okay? Alright? Now imagine your job, your company being like, we would love to continue to pay you, but we just don't have the money. So if you could take out a loan to give to us, to be able to give back to you, that'd be great. So you're like, okay, I'll just go to the bank and get a 20 grand loan to give to you so that you can start paying me my salary so that I can then pay the debt that I used to give you the money to pay myself. No? The fuck? That is basically the con system we're in here. Holy shit. Anyway, lover, the one customer a courtesan was truly in love with outside of work. And that sounds like a con, because again, I feel like there might be scenarios where it's actually somebody that you might be really in love with and maybe they're in love with you. But the way Tatsunosuke is operating is making me be like, I don't believe any of that shit. These men are con men. They don't love me. If they did, they'd get a damn job. Instead of making me keep my hooker job and give them the money so that they can pay me. That just seems like it's a cycle of stupid. Do you see? Like, hell no, I ain't trust no man now. Kenji's gonna walk in and we're gonna punch him in the face and he's gonna be like, why? And we're gonna be like, because all men are douchebags. What the fuck? I'm sure there's some scenarios where they were, but you know there was a lot of scenarios where these men are like, because you think all that money you borrowed and gave to him is going to you? Oh, hell no, it ain't. If he went broke coming to fuck you, that man cannot afford food, so the money you gave him is going to all of his other bills and shit, not just you. And why can't he take on debt? What's his problem? Why you gotta take on the debt for him? Why you so convinced? Like, he's not that good in bed, I guarantee it. Nuh-uh. I'm outraged. What the fuck? That's insanity. Okay, anyway. Even so, a lover can help you forget the burden of this line of work. Even if you give your body to a stranger, remembering your man's love can help you endure it. And the only reason you have to give your body to a strange rando is because you took on more debt to help the man you love who can't afford to pay for you or his own lifestyle. So you are taking on his debt and inability to be a grown-ass motherfucking adult and budget. I'm just saying. Why the fuck is it my job to shoulder his Okay. Alright. We're over there like, that just sounds stupid. I suddenly remembered the first time I saw Kenji's performance on stage. Oh, are we going to flash back to that CG? Oh, Kenji is a beautiful maiden. We're just going to read it like normal Kenji, because I can't do Kenji's voice in a woman's voice. You'd think that would be easier, but no. A patron's lust could never be as deep, though without a lover I would not see the light of day. Without a lover, I wouldn't see the light of day. Okuni said she'd been working here as a courtesan for a while now. I wonder if she has someone like that. But again, don't you think that, like... I mean, I understand why the courtesans are doing it. You are so in love with someone, you want to help them, so you're... But again, what is that man doing for you? What the fuck is he doing for himself? Aside from getting laid. Because he can't even manage his own life to be able... And, like, I get it. He's like, I don't have the money to free you, depending on how much... And that makes sense. Like, okay, that's valid. You know what I mean? But going so broke that the woman you supposedly love has to take out a loan to help you, so now she's in even deeper and she's digging herself into deeper and deeper holes just so you can get your rocks off? I don't know about that. That seems very one-sided, and I don't think he loves you, girl. I don't think he's that into you. I mean, he wants to get into you, but he's not that into you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's some kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know. I can't see if the roles were reversed. I'd be like, yeah, no. Dig yourself deeper into that sex slavery hole so I can come visit you every once in a while, but then also afford, like, groceries. Cool. Cool beans. Don't worry about it. So, like, you'll just die a courtesan, but, like, and then I'll miss you, but, like, I don't love you enough to be like, don't dig yourself into a deeper hole. You know what I mean? I just can't imagine a woman doing that, but all these men are doing that. Like, you know, I'm just... Shit! This is making me so bitter and angry, and I'm gonna need to go get a drink after this. Holy hell. I bought myself a Ninja Creamy. I might just make myself a pint of ice cream. Like, damn. I don't know if I should ask this, but... Okuni, do you have a lover too? I do. Okuni answered my question without hesitation. It would be a big deal if the boss found out, so keep this our little secret. I hope it's not Hisakura, because... After she said that, she placed her index finger against her lips. Yes, I won't tell anyone. It's Tatsunosuke. It's absolutely him, because otherwise she'd tell us. It's him, and they're in cahoots, or she's controlling him, or something. I don't trust this now. Okuni gently chuckled at me as I nodded quickly. She could be totally innocent, but I'm just saying, when the characters have sprites, they're a little sus in the routes, right? Her face was as innocent as a young girl's, and that also is not suspicious after I just said this. Like, I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little sus, and then her face is so innocent. Well, that's just an indicator that she ain't innocent. It was my first time seeing this expression from Okuni, and it made my heart race. Or he's lying to her, and she's totally innocent and has no clue. I don't know what's going on. May I hear a little more about him? Okuni nodded once and opened her mouth. He's the type of man you can't really leave alone. He always looks lonely, and I always wonder if something terribly sad happened to him. Customers like that aren't rare here, but his heart is as pure as a child's. Before I knew it, I found myself wanting to help soothe that sadness. Is that so? Okuni was the big sister type, so she might have felt some motherly instinct to take care of that person. This is off topic, but there's something I wanted to apologize to you for. What's there to apologize for? When Saki tried to run away, you weren't trying to go with her. You saw her in the middle of that and tried to stop her, didn't you? Even if I apologize now, I can't change the fact that I had you locked up. I just wanted to set things right. I'm sorry, Spacey. You know, even if she's shady and evil, I'll appreciate this. Because she at least, apologized. She didn't have to. She could have just pretended like she didn't know anything about it, or. She bowed her head low to me. In response, I frantically waved my hands in denial. But please don't apologize. I shouldn't have done something that could be so easily misunderstood. It's my fault as well. I lowered my head as well. It almost looked like we were in some kind of arranged marriage. I mean, we could do worse. I still want to marry Kinji, but Okuni's hot, so whatevs. And you know me, the only gay in me is the gay man, so. But she's beautiful, so we could do worse. Okuni must have thought the same thing. She raised her head and giggled. Shall we call it water under the bridge? Yes. So what happened to Saki after that? I heard courtesans that try to run away are punished. Could Saki also... She was infected with the Celestial Maiden robes, so she's receiving treatment in the Toya right now. How bad is it? And what about the punishment? We heard why Saki wanted to leave, and since she became infected, we decided to put it on hold. She's already receiving enough punishment as is, so when she feels better, she'll probably start working again without a scolding. And see, Tatsunosuke did the little thing on her. She was like, oh, I hope I don't get sick. He gave me a little, he gave me the cootie shot, and he actually gave you cooties, basically. I'm so glad. It was worrying that she was infected with the Celestial Maiden's robes, but I was relieved to hear that she wouldn't receive any harsh beatings. You two seem very close. Saki was also worried about you. I have a feeling you'll become good friends. Your co-workers may be rivals here, but friends can encourage and support each other. Sure, lovers are important, but nothing compares to a good friend. Yeah, I mean, true. We got a lot of good friends. They're all hot men, and most of them are in the man harem. But, again, Okuni, please don't be mean. Ruriko could have been our friend, but somebody tried to kill her, so, maybe if she wakes up. Once I fulfilled my mission, I would have to leave the brothel. I likely wouldn't be able to easily meet Saki after that. Still, I'd want to come to see her when I have time. Okuni, is it really too late to go check on Saki? I'm afraid so. You might get infected as well, so I can't risk taking you to the Toya. Yeah, I suppose. Okuni took my hand as I hung my head and held it tightly. We caught it early, and thanks to that, her condition isn't as advanced. She should be able to recover faster than the other sick girls. Yeah, it was a hard pill to swallow, but there was nothing to do except believe in Okuni's words and wait for Saki's illness to subside. Some time passed after that. Ooh, it's nighttime, isn't it? It's finally time to go welcome Kinji. There was a futon laid out in the middle of the same room as the other day. The only things that were different were that my limbs weren't bound and I wasn't sitting on top of the futon. I'm so nervous, my stomach hurts. This is not the time to get nauseous. I rubbed my stomach with my hand and looked at the doorway. The nighttime open house had started, so it was quite lively outside. Just a little while ago, we only had a few customers per night, but now the crowds had returned to how they were before the courtesans turned into a blightfall. Humans forget fear as time passes, I suppose. The kabuki actor Kinji! Kinji, look over here! Don't you touch my man! He's only gonna look at me! I could hear the shrieks of the courtesans from outside the window. Ugh. You're like, part of me is like, yeah, that's right, fawn over my boyfriend. But another part is like, don't look at my boyfriend. I don't need him realizing I'm not the hottest girl in this room. Kinji's here. No, the nice thing is like, we're adorable. But like, even if there was a girl that was 10 times hotter, Kinji only has eyes for us, and that's good. That's all that matters. I hurriedly corrected my posture. It's fine. It's fine. It's not like we're actually doing it. I kind of hope you are, though. I told myself that, but I couldn't calm the rapid pounding of my heart. At least a kiss, that'd be interesting. Phew. Her anxiety and the is like killing me too. Every time footsteps came and went in front of the room, I felt like I would die. I know, and the anxiety's killing me. I might faint from anxiety before I see Kinji. As I seriously thought such a thing, footsteps once again approached the room. Like you'd be so excited to see him, but also nervous. Then they stopped right in front of the door. It's this room here.
I understand.
The brothel owner must have left. A single set of footsteps went off into the distance. Kinji's there, just beyond that single sliding door. The sliding door slowly opened. Though it was only for a split second, it felt like an eternity for me. They are dragging out just him showing up in the room, and it's like, is it giving anybody else anxiety? Just me? Are we all just like nervous? Like we're like, girl, it's not time to be like feeling like you're gonna vomit. And it's like, no, I get it. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Kinji closed the sliding door behind him and sat down next to me.
Good evening.
Good evening. When talking with someone, you must look them in the eye. Kinji instilled that into me, so I pushed down my desire to look away and stared firmly into his eyes. Time passed as we stared at each other. Well, this makes it more awkward. This happened before, but should I offer a conversation topic? For starters, Kinji and I were still having a fight. No, I just said whatever I wanted from my end. I guess you can't really call that a fight. Even so, it was still awkward. It might become even more awkward if I brought it up again, so what should I talk about? As I pondered this issue...
Now then, it's about time we begin.
Kinji casually said that to me. Begin? Begin what?
Today is your Mizuage. There's only one thing you can do.
Huh? My mouth hung agape at the completely unexpected statement. Does Kinji seriously plan on doing that with me? I'm okay with this, and it'd be kind of interesting, because I don't think, if he were to go through with this, it's not like, well, it's just my job. Although, to be fair, being a vessel, they'd be like, your job is to just have sex with her. And he'd be like, hey, whatever. It wouldn't mean anything, but we know he's cracking. So you know that he'd be like, okay, but also like, okay, wait a minute. I might be into this. You know? There's no way. Kinji most certainly said there was a plan. Ah, so this is the plan. If I think about it carefully, it's much too convenient that Kinji happened to be here on the day Lord Hisakura tried to perform my Mizuage. He might have had no choice but to pretend to be a customer because the brothel owner became suspicious of him. In that case, then I also must pretend to be a courtesan. I'm unworthy, but I'm humbly in your care tonight. I placed 3 fingers on the ground and lowered my head. Upon seeing that, Kinji let out a huff of laughter. Huh? Did I mess up?
Please continue.
I guess I'll continue. After the greeting, there was only one thing left to do. Push him down and kiss him. He's probably like, I was joking. And we're like, oh, we're going to pretend. We're going to role play. Okay, got it. And then she's like, all right, I guess I'll just... Wouldn't that shock the fuck out of him if we just kissed him? I have to lie on that futon with Kinji. Wait, am I supposed to tell him that? I stared pleadingly up at Kinji, but Kinji's mouth was tightly shut. In Okuni's lesson, she taught me that it was the courtesan's duty to guide the customer. Kinji's here as a customer, so it's normal for me to invite him, right? Could you imagine he probably is like... This is not the time to fuck with us, sir. We're going to take this seriously. And he's going to be like, I didn't honestly think we were going to have sex, but cool, great. Kinji, do you want to lie in the futon with me? Though I said it with fervor, I couldn't help but feel embarrassed as my voice trailed off at the end. It sounded very awkward, too.
A futon, huh?
Kinji furrowed his well-sculpted brows. Huh. Did I say something wrong? But Kinji and I are acting as a customer and their courtesan right now, so this should be right. My shoulders were suddenly pushed and I lost my balance, falling over. Did you just shove me down? Because I'm here for this. I happened to be sitting with my back to the futon, so I ended up falling right down onto it. I need a CG. We got CGs of other boys pinning us. I need a CG of Kinji pinning us. As I lay there dazed as Kinji grabbed my wrist with a firm and powerful grip. Oh dear God, I know we're like at time, but did you think I was going to not go a little over for this? And when I was pulled, I had no way of resisting. Why would I? Oh God, yes. Oh, okay, he's not pinning me down. We're lying side by side, but look at the intensity in his face. It's so beautiful. I was completely embraced within Kinji's arms. Ah! I wanted the sexy pinning me down, but this is beautiful and I love it. My heart felt like it would jump out of my mouth. If that wasn't enough, Kinji then intertwined his legs with mine. Oh my! Okay. I'm gonna die! I kind of feel that way too.
Your legs are as cold as ice. Are you sensitive to the cold?
As he said that, he moved his legs as if to transfer his heat to me. I couldn't stand having something like that done to me. I already felt like I was about to die, and if anything more was done, my heart could actually stop from the sheer nervousness.
And now that we're both here, what shall we do next?
He asked me a question, but my head had become blank. I couldn't answer.
I see. I take it that means I can do as I please.
No. Come back, CG. Don't leave me. After he said that, Kinji wrapped his arms around my waist and pulled me towards him. I mean, if he's just acting and isn't into us at all, he's really good. But then again, he is really good, so fair. We ended up even closer together and my body stiffened. Kinji's body, he smells so nice, and I can hear his heartbeat. How did this happen? The fact that I had been the one to invite him to the futon had completely disappeared from my head.
Spacey.
The hand holding my wrist moved to my cheek and gently slid down it. Then he brushed my mouth with his finger and a shiver ran down my spine. It's a good thing I'm sitting, but I might fall over. Somebody call 911 when I black out because of this, okay? Is he really planning on kissing me right now? He's probably not going to because the game is going to kiss block us, but goddamn, it'd be so nice. I couldn't help but close my eyes. I like Kinji, so I should be happy that I would be kissed by him, but oddly enough, my heart was in the dumps. Was it because I liked him, but Kinji didn't have the same feelings towards me? He kind of does, though, but we just don't know it. Oh. No matter how much I liked someone, the emptiness of being kissed when no feelings were attached was stronger than happiness. Valid. But no matter how long I waited, there was no hint of a kiss being made. I wonder what's wrong. I slowly opened my eyes. Ugh! A pathetic noise came out of my mouth because my nose had been grabbed by Kinji. Kinji! Because she can't say Kinji.
Oh my, what a funny face.
Isn't that because you're grabbing my nose?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're saying. Could you repeat that?
Kinji! I raised my voice in retaliation and Kinji laughed, shaking his shoulders. I mean, I feel like he was definitely fucking with us, but you know what? We got tangled up in you on a foot, and I'm okay with it.
You don't have to be so tense. I never had any intention of sharing a bed with you.
Look at, you say that with such an adorable, sweet face, and it's like, you're like, that's actually sweet. It hurts like a motherfucker, and you have such an adorable face while saying that. I want to cry. Kinji's fingers left my nose as his body did mine.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing. I could never tell him that I'm feeling lonely. Right as I thought I would die from how close we were, now I felt loneliness from him leaving. Could the fact that I held such complicated feelings be because I was in love? But then why did you do something like that?
And this is my revenge after you one-sidedly picked a fight with me the other day.
I didn't know you held a grudge. It was a surprise. I thought that Kinji was a vessel and wouldn't have such feelings. But you saying those things and like, I can't believe you'd think that you were worthless. How do you think I would feel if you died, you bastard? And he was like, what are these feelings in my heart? I'm going to get back at you for that, for making me feel things. No, it's not that he held a grudge. More like he thought he could use this as material to mess with me. And lo and behold, I had been messed with by Kinji. I mean, if you really want to mess with me, you should try kissing me and then messing around with me. I'm just saying, that would really... I would definitely not expect that. You should try it. I was mentally prepared to share a bed with you. It's cruel to get back at me like this. You were not. You were not mentally prepared.
Cruel? It's your fault for getting tricked, you know.
Well, it's true, but even if it was a plan, I felt like I was going to die at the thought of really doing it with you.
If it bothered you so much, you could have simply said something to me. Though to be fair, I had known from the start that you weren't keen on this act. I admit it was also my fault for not saying anything. I'll be coming here as a customer, but I will not lay a single finger on you. So please don't worry.
There is going to be a point where he comes here as a customer before we're freed, and he absolutely is going to lay a finger on us after he cracks 100%, and that's going to be kind of interesting. Because she's going to be like, oh, he's going to come here, nothing's going to happen, and then he will kiss us at one point, and you're just going to be like, liar? No. I immediately said that, and with a gasp, covered my mouth with my hands.
What did you just say?
That was... I tried to look for an excuse, but there was no way I could find one immediately. This might be a good chance to confess. I remembered how I regretted not telling Kinji that I liked him right before I was about to lay in bed with Lord Hisakura. Even in a situation like this, I wouldn't hate it if I'm doing it with you, Kinji. In fact, if I'm gonna do something like this, I don't want to unless it's with you. How adorable. I do like how she's like awkward, like, oh my god, I like him, whatever. And then she's like, maybe I should tell him. And then she's like, I don't want to have sex with anyone but you, just to be fair. And then she just comes right the fuck out with this shit. When she like hikes her tits up, she just fucking comes out with it. And I'm proud of her for that. You know what I mean? There's not really a lot of hemming and hawing going on. Like, her awkwardness and, like, oh my God, he's absolutely valid. Like, I'm like, no, I get her awkwardness. And, like, oh my God, his legs are wrapped around, I'm gonna vomit and I think I'm gonna die. And I'm so embarrassed. And then he's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna touch you. And you're like, no, but, like, you were the only one I'd let touch me, though. Let's be real. Embarrassing as fuck as it might be. Just saying. Like, I'm just like really proud of her for that for most of the time. You know? I think we've had a couple moments where I'm like, girl, why are you being motherfucking stupid? But like most of the time, she's like really fucking good about being straightforward and communicating what most games are missing. Kenji looks a little shocked. He probably hadn't expected a confession at a time like this. Kenji's eyes were wide open and he was still as a statue. Just dead silence. We stared at each other wordlessly, with only time passing by. Say something, please. I couldn't stand it anymore and urged him for an answer.
You must be more specific for me to understand. In other words, how do you feel about me?
He made me say all that and he's asking me for more. He's so mean! Though I thought that, a part of me also thought I should be frank if I was going to confess my feelings. I slowly took in a deep breath and, looking him in the eye, opened my mouth. I like you, Kenji. Romantically. Because I like you, I don't want you to get hurt. Because I like you, I want you to live. From now on, if you try to fight in a reckless way, I'll probably stop you. Even if you get annoyed with me, I'm gonna follow my emotions and act on them. Even if you'll never love me back. I mean, that's a fair thing to say. She didn't say that, but I'd rather you treat yourself with more care too, but that's me being greedy. If you won't take care of yourself, then I want to do my very best to take care of you. It's so cute because he says nothing but his mouth moved like he's like, like he's just stuttering to find words. Kenji pressed his hand to his chest, his breath seeming to catch in his throat. Yeah, he's like, how do you feel about me? And the second those words, see, he's having cracks. Now would be a really good time because we're in chapter 6 for you to fully crack and kiss me.
I am a vessel, so I don't understand emotions that are strongly related to the heart, and therefore I cannot reciprocate your feelings.
You say that, and yet you got a little like something happened when we said that to you with the clutching your chest thing. You wouldn't be. You're like, you know what I mean? It's vastly different than like when we told Tojo we had feelings. He's like, yeah, that's stupid. And then later he was like, well, I mean, it's like, no, valid though. And like Kenji saying this earlier, valid. Him saying it now, not as valid because I believe something's happening. Like, yes, this is your default response. It's like, it does not compute while it's actually computing inside of you, you know what I mean? I wasn't particularly disappointed by his answer. I heard from Lord Yoshimune that vessels have their hearts sealed away, and Kenji's been telling me this whole time that's how vessels are. So I already knew that he couldn't return my feelings. I don't mind that. I like you and I'll keep liking you. Do you have a problem with that?
Is it not painful to hold on to feelings that will never come to fruition?
Why do you decide on your own that it won't? Isn't it possible that someday you might like me back?
No, it isn't possible. My heart has been sealed.
If it's been sealed, then something could trigger you to get it back, right? You know, in every other one, she's like, nah, I get it. And then shit cracks. But then she's like, I could break that shit. Like, this is like the one where she's like, I could break it though, right? If you get your heart back, then you might end up liking...
What is it now?
If you get it back, then you would have to be disposed of, right? That's not good. So you don't have to reciprocate! But could you just allow me to like you? Ugh! What a big sigh. From his reaction, I feared he might say that it was impossible for me to continue feeling this way for him. Well, you can't control my emotions. Just let me figure it out. Eventually, I'll get over it. Maybe. No, I won't, but... That would be bad. Really bad. But there's no way around it if he finds me a burden.
Humans are such avaricious creatures. You'll eventually come to find that it's not enough to continue feeling this way alone. Spacey, if you like me, then you must try to make me fall for you.
You know, only someone who might have kind of sort of feelings for me, like, would say that. You'd be like, there's no point in trying. You're like, you should try to make, because he's got to know something's happening, and he's like, you must try to make me fall for you. He's like, because something is happening inside of me, so I'm just curious. Try to crack this shit. Seriously, no, throw some rocks over here. Huh? I had never thought that I'd be given a challenge like that from Kinji. But if you fall in love with me, you...
That's an if, isn't it? It would be quite impressive if you managed to make a vessel fall in love.
Hey! I've done it 3 times already, sir. And I'm going to do it quite a few more times after this. 4th time's the charm. I'm going 4 for 4, motherfucker. And then we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just going to rack them all up. I'm going to break every single one of you motherfucking vessels. And then I'm going for Kyoshiro. Kiyohiko I don't have to worry about because he's a human, and, like, I can make that man fall for me in a hot fucking second. I'll just kiss him once and he'll be dead. So it's fine. And Miyagi is married, so he's off limits. But other than that, I'm going to break all your motherfucking vessels, including your vessel daddy over there, okay? That's Kyoshiro.
Perhaps Lord Yoshimune would even find it admirable and pardon me for my extermination.
Yes, we know he will. I really don't think things would go that conveniently. They always do. Don't worry about it.
Or do you not have confidence to make me fall for you?
Kenji softly let out a huff of laughter. His provoking manner of speech started getting on my nerves. All right, if you're going to go that far, then I'll make you fall in love with me. Kenji nodded with satisfaction when he saw how sharply I responded. He's like, this is a fun game. The best way to make someone fall in love with you is to learn what they like, right? Even so, I don't think Kinji is anything like that. I quickly raised my head and Kinji's hairpin entered my line of sight. Right now, I might be able to finally get an answer if I asked him a question about the hairpin. Kinji, your hairpin's so pretty. You said that Okuni mistook you for a form folk born from that hairpin, but what's the real story?
It's true, though I don't have any memory of it, so I cannot say for sure. Apparently I was born from this hairpin.
Okay. We did think that at first, especially when she thought he was a form folk, blah, blah, blah. But it was like but we already had a hair ornament. He was a comb versus a hairpin, but still kind of in the same vein, but there's only so many objects you can be. You know what I mean? You know, Kyoshiro is just a beautiful vase, and you can't just carry that shit around. Like, their objects are probably like something smaller that they're all carrying around somehow.
And that's what I'd heard from Lord Yoshimune. And when I told this to Lord Yoshimune, he said that an owner's memories can loosen the seal on a vessel's heart. And that's why Lord Yoshimune warned me not to meet with her too much. Okuni was close with the owner and tries to talk about him whenever she can.
Is that so? That means you know at least some information about the owner, right? Oh, you don't have to go into detail if it might break the seal.
Are you not the one who started asking all these questions? I think it's hardly appropriate to back out now. I couldn't remember a single thing, even when Okuni talked about the owner. Talking about it with you shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it might be because you started to crack. Then, could you tell me? Kinji nodded at my words.
This hairpin apparently belonged to an actor in training, whose wish was to become successful as an onagata.
And look who took over that.
It seems that this hairpin was a gift from his mother. A rather odd choice for a gift to your own son, is it not? The story goes that his mother wanted a daughter rather than a son. She always gave her son gifts that were meant for women, from what I heard.
And that's why her son wanted to play a beautiful woman in the theater to make his mom proud. You know, there's some fucked up shit happening here.
As luck would have it, the feminine accessories had suited his beautiful looks, but time begets change. A bigger body, facial hair. The mother couldn't bear to see her son slowly becoming a man, and she disappeared from his sight. If only I had been a real woman, he bemoaned, and in his despair he met Kabuki. When he saw actors playing Onagata, he felt a flash of inspiration. He believed that if he wore his mother's hairpin and stood on stage, his mother might eventually come to find him. I even heard that the owner didn't mind working in a male brothel in an attempt to become more womanly.
See, so we got male brothels here too then. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But if you work as both an actor and a prostitute, it's not uncommon to eventually fall ill from fatigue.
I mean, seriously, those are 2 night jobs.
And that was how I heard he passed away at a young age, without ever meeting his mother again.
I can't believe it. It's such a tragic fucking story. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, Yoichi's story wasn't a little tragic where his mom went fucking psycho and was killing people. And, like, Kuga's story's a little tragic because, like, the man who made the sword that he was from was like, yay! And then the other guy that basically probably gave him his soul stole it. So he's, like, stolen materials, like... I think Tojo's is the only one that really wasn't depressing if you think about it, because he was like, yeah, he was a nice guy, probably died from lung cancer, but like, whatever, that's what you get for smoking. Like, I don't think he ever said he didn't die tragically. He was like, I probably died from smoking or whatever, and you're like, when you're smoking 16 packs a day, you're bound to get lung cancer, just saying, you know? So like, but I don't remember him saying if he died young or if like, he got old and died, like whatever, but like, probably the only one that wasn't traumatized. In some way, shape, or form. At least I don't remember him having the most tragic backstory. Like, damn. The owner must have died with so much regret. When I thought about how his mother forced him to be a woman, and despite that, how he tried to live up to her wishes, my chest felt tight.
You truly do have a heart.
What do you mean?
When I first heard the story from Okuni, and even as I recount it now, I don't feel anything at all. I cannot understand why he felt so strongly about seeing his mother, and I cannot understand why he ignored his own limits. If he wanted to be certain of meeting her, he could have simply spent time to master both fields.
You have a point, but I think he wanted to meet his mother as quickly as possible and ended up going overboard. Also, humans have such lower limits than a vessel does. You know what I mean? It's going to be a hell of a lot easier to break a human with the amount of work he was putting in, being a courtesan and like working in a male brothel and doing the kabuki and doing everything and exhausting himself than like a vessel doing the same stuff, you know? He must have loved his mother that much. I feel like this is a weird kind of love, but...
A mother who wished for a man like himself to be a woman.
Yes.
I truly do not understand.
Vessels judge things based on logic. When I thought of that, it made sense that Kinji couldn't understand the emotional side of humans.
To have that thought pushed onto me despite my inability to understand is truly unpleasant.
Wait, do the owner's emotions have something to do with why you can only play Onagata parts?
Yes. Ever since I woke as a vessel, the owner's strong urge to become the ideal Onagata has been with me. As proof, when I try to play a male part, I'm unable to speak a single word, let alone move my body.
That's so sad.
Okuni must be the same. Her thoughts are bound to her owner, and that will continue forever until she dies. He may have been the human who birthed me, but that does not give him the right to control my thoughts. Dear me, was I born from such a troublesome owner?
But see, once we break Kinji of like his vesselness and the seal and everything, I wonder if that's because I mean, like everybody else, once they basically been freed, they're humans again. Like that's what happened with Tojo. It was like, oh, you're a human, you don't have your vessel stamp, which again they did once and they never brought up again. But like, Kinji's we're gonna break him and he's gonna become human and then he will be able to play the male roles, which, like, I kind of like that they put this little twist in because you're like, that's kind of sad. And, like, you can't do what you want because somebody else is controlling you. Kind of like that man felt like he was controlled by his mother. You know what I mean? Like, her wishes leached into him and his desires have stuck into you, you know? But it's one of those, but Kinji looks so beautiful as a woman, so then going up and playing male roles is going to be like, but I liked Kinji when he was just like, oh, look at you as a beautiful woman up there on stage. I don't know. But you still want him to be able to, like, play the role he wants to play and be free from that. And, like, I feel like that's what they're going to do when he becomes free is like, look, I got to play a male role once. Woo! And that's going to be like, so adorable. Stop it. Saying that, Kinji let out a deep sigh. A vessel is a bit different from form folk, and they both possess a tool that forms their origins. Form folk are often born when a human takes good care of a tool, so they typically have a good relationship with humans, but according to Kinji's story, that's not always the case. There might have been a number of form folk that felt the same as Kinji, and who was simply unaware. So his owner's thoughts prevent Kinji from playing roles other than Onagata. He can't help it. I can kind of understand why he wouldn't like to be asked about that. If my thoughts were being controlled by someone else, I wouldn't want to talk about it either. Plus, Kinji seems to have a lot of pride. He probably didn't want to mention anything, even if he was being forced to. But Kinji told me about it. It really made me happy, and I smiled a little so Kinji wouldn't notice. How sweet. I really thought I didn't know where this scene was going to go, but I'm just saying, that was actually touchingly beautiful, and we had a lovely moment. So, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.